What's up, everybody? Jason Wilson here with a little tech talk today at Zap Skimboards. I've got the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Boomhower, our original and main shaper here at Zap. Welcome.
What up, Jay?
Glad to be here with you. Today we're going to kick things off talking a little bit about the different construction and materials we use here at Zap. We get a lot of questions from the riders in the shop, so I figured it'd be good to talk to the man himself and break it down, tell you a little bit of the differences between some of the materials that we use in construction. So let's kick it off with the entry-level boards.
Yeah, for sure.
Right here we have a Zap Cheetah. This is part of our C-Series boards, I believe. And these have the white bottom. Tell me about this white bottom that we've seen at Zap Skimboards for years.
The white bottom is a gel coat bottom, basically. So the bottom layer on the C-Series boards that you're sliding across the sand and stuff is a layer of white gel coat on top of the glass that's used. So it's protecting the glass underneath it in the board, gives you a nice sliding surface, especially across like the wet sand and stuff.
This board I know I like for our skimboarding camps. We use these a lot, and some of them have been in our quiver for like 10 years.
Yeah.
They last a long time. Even if they get scratched or dented on those bottoms, they really hold up.
Yeah, no, they're super durable. So then that's why, you know, all the entry-level boards are built this way. So it's kind of like the perfect combination of performance and durability, and the gel coat holds up really well to shells and rocks, you know, punctures, dings, it scratches, you know, scratch resistant.
So what is this in contrast to a fiberglass bottom?
So the fiberglass bottom,
or an e-glass?
E-glass.
That's this one right here,
yeah,
right?
So our e-glass boards with the flex spine construction, the fiberglass
Flex spine construction.
Flex spine.
This is the flex spine. This is what you see going down the
carbon
middle.
strip coming down the center of the board.
And not only is that a good look, a little extra strength.
Yep, gives you a little stiffness. So the e-glass boards are built with a matrix of 4 and 6 ounce glass with the carbon strip sandwiched in between them. So e-glass is, you know, the standard build for surfboards, and it's been since.
Is this e-glass on top here? No.
There's e-glass in the C-Series boards with combinations of chop mat and a few other things.
And that's what this is what we refer to as our Composilite
Our
construction,
Composilite
or gel coat.
Yep. So so the e-glass boards, you basically, you know,
Little
just
lighter.
straight fiberglass.
Lighter?
For sure.
What would you say is stronger, the gel coat or I imagine the gel coat probably has a little more durability.
The gel coat bottom will have more durability in terms of scratch resistant, dent resistance on the sand and stuff. You got a whole extra skin layer to wear through before you get to the fiberglass layer beneath it. Whereas the e-glass boards, your fiberglass, your e-glass, I mean, that's it. That's what you're sliding on right there.
But you don't add any extra weight.
No extra weight.
The trade-off
is performance.
Got it.
Yeah, so, you know, you want a high-end performing board. You're sacrificing a little bit of durability.
For weight.
For weight,
Performance.
you know, everything's a trade-off.
All right, so I'm glad you're here, because this is honestly where I get a little confused. Moving on to the carbon fiber here, there's a few different types that we use at Zap.
Yep.
We got the Gator Skin, and what's this? I'm sorry, that's the Gator Skin, and what's this one called?
We're called the hybrid carbon. So this is a carbon Negra weave. You know, gives it a little more of a tricky look compared to the traditional carbon, which is all, you know, solid black. It's all carbon fiber strands woven together, where, you know, this little white strand that you see that shows up in here is the Negra material. They weave that through there. So this kind of gives you like a stiff riding board still, but like a little more flex. So like it won't be like as stiff and rigid as like the straight carbon
I
material
like that.
is.
I like that because there's riders that like the flex,
Yeah.
but they still want the strength.
They still want the strength, yeah. So you'll get a little more, I would say, let's just call it feel, like energy feel maybe in the board. And then compared to a traditional carbon where it's, you know.
All right, so we had to get one of these up here.
Yeah.
This is the traditional carbon, what he was saying. There's a difference. It's a lot darker and it doesn't have these white strings.
So in the
through it.
traditional carbon is what we've been using for decades now, right?
Yeah,
The traditional carbon gives you the lightest, stiffest board that you can get. Not always
What
so much
everybody
the
wants.
strongest, right? Because everybody thinks carbon's like indestructible. The carbon just makes the board super stiff, which makes it really fast. Super poppy, you know, airs, tricks, stuff like that, tech.
So why do we bring these varieties of other carbon in? A little bit looks.
But little bit of looks, you know, changes it up, but you know, different feel, different build, you know, like riders like different stuff. It's always good to,
Does the Gator also offer a little as much flex as this?
This would be more flexible than that traditional carbon as well. And there's more, so the Gator Skin has a Kevlar. It's a carbon Kevlar weave. And the Kevlar strands, if you can see, they're a lot thicker than the Negra strands in the hybrid carbon. So this stuff is the Gator Skin's very strong, very durable. It has like a more elastic, for lack of a better word, like response. So like the breaking point on the Gator Skin, it will flex more before it reaches its snapping point, where the carbon doesn't have a lot of give. That's why it's stiff and it's fast. You're just like bouncing over all the chop, you know, this and that. The Gator Skin gives a little more flex and rebound, and it's super durable, right? We all know like Kevlar from, you know, Kevlar vests and Kevlar this, Kevlar that, right?
This is getting pretty technical. Let's do a quick overview recap, all right?
Yep.
So we have our entry-level boards, our Composilite. You can grab that and show the bottom. That's the white gel coat bottom.
Yep, gel coat bottom. Think of it as the protective layer on top of your glass, durable,
And then
holds up to abuse.
And then we move into our E-glass with flex spine.
Yep.
Okay. And then traditional carbon,
We're in our traditional carbon,
extra stiff,
light.
light. And then we move into the hybrid carbon.
Still stiff and light, just a little
More flex,
a little
little
more
different
feel.
look.
Yep, different
And then
look.
we move into the Gator Skin,
Which probably feels, these two probably feel similar.
but it has a little gold look to it.
Yeah, it has
instead
a
of the
gold
white.
look and, you know,
Extra strength with
a little
thicker
extra,
weave.
yeah, the extra weave, you know, the thicker weave because it's a little extra, you know, endurance. So
Well, I think that should help everybody out there understand a little bit about our different construction processes. We've got the Composilite, E-glass with the flex spine stringer. Again, the hybrid carbon, Gator Skin carbon, original carbon. We got something for everybody here at Zap Skimboards. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get a little bit more into the different shapes and thicknesses and tell you about how that works when we come back.